Hey, folks, how you doing? I know you're not used to hearing my voice over here. If you recall, my name is the Ruthless Wonder, not a Ruthless Wonder, and you're on a very special episode of Cheater's Guide to the Universe. We are not doing a game today. This is not a playthrough. This is not the wonderful world of MCW coming back very soon. Instead, we're going to talk about E3. I am not going to sit here and talk E3 on my own. I have a very special guest. You may recall he's been on stuff over on our other channel, Words Don't Do It Justice, a couple of times with the original Words Don't Do It Justice podcast. We've, of course, had some articles from him back in the day as well on WDDIJ.net. And he currently runs Safe State Society on Facebook and on YouTube, as well as his upcoming Mecha University, which I'm looking forward to a lot personally. The
Thank
man,
you.
the myth, Bami. Oh, how you doing, brother?
I'm fine. Thank you for that rousing introduction. I really like that. I'm glad someone's looking forward to Mecha University. Hi, I'm Bami Ojo. My colleague here, Mr. The Ruthless Wonder has just mentioned I run Say Society and Mecha University, and I'm happy to be here to discuss. What are we discussing today?
We're discussing E3. Now, I do have a thing, though. I'm not going to call you by your actual name for this entire podcast. You know why?
Why?
I feel like you've earned being called Lando for the entirety of this podcast.
Oh!
I feel like that's something you've earned. We have a Star Wars game to get to in this. It feels only right to call you Lando the whole time.
I graciously accept that. Thank you so much. I accept that. I love it.
So for the folks that aren't really familiar with E3, it used to be a press only event. It is basically primarily still a press only event, even though the public is allowed to come now. But E3 covers a number of different major publishers, as well as the major console makers and PC gaming as well. To a small degree, it's growing, but it's basically where you get all of the hype and press for the year for new games or like immediately recently released games. E3, kind of like Gamescom in Germany, is really where people get a lot of their information coming up. So if you want some hype, the place to go is E3. And well, Lando, can you tell folks about the kind of difference between E3 now as opposed to even 5 years ago? Because it feels like a shift has occurred over time with E3. It doesn't feel like it used to.
Oh man, I don't even know where to begin with that because I totally agree with you. But I feel like part of this, what I'm about to say next, comes from age and being, I guess, more and more jaded as I get older as a gamer. It used to be a more closed off event at one point, and now they've opened it back up to the crowd, and people can now come in and peruse and check out the booths and so on and so forth. But they're really trying hard to impress people this year, all publishers and such. And I don't know how to say this, Ruthless. I feel like it's, maybe if I'm out of bounds, correct me. It feels like it's a bit more soulless. I don't know what the word would be or the term would be. It feels a bit more soulless. It feels, maybe because I'm older.
Way, yeah.
Now, as an older, an adult gamer, I just see the corporate, the hand. I'm starting to see it. And I just don't, the gloss and the shine that used to have me when I was younger, it's no longer there. And I just see suits trying to pimp out their next big hit and hope that social media catches on. That's all I'm seeing right now. And that's what I'm getting internally from that. That's the feeling I'm getting from E3. And I don't know if that's a good thing, but that's just personally how I feel.
Well, but isn't that part of the shift itself? I mean, and one of the things that folks will notice is that you were able to see all of E3 online over Twitch, over YouTube, for some reason on Daily Motion. Like there's the ability to see E3, like all the major and some of the minor press conferences and some of the booth experiences you were able to see over the different streaming locations. And that I do think takes away a little bit of the luster. It used to be gaming magazines and gaming websites and other media members would go and then they would say, all right, we saw all this stuff. We couldn't see everything, but we saw this stuff. We're going to report on it. And you would have to go through a number of different channels to kind of get what everybody talked about. And maybe
Yes.
the company would release information, but it wasn't guaranteed for that to happen either. And I think that does like making it a public event now does kind of take away some of the shine. You're giving it all away, definitely not for free, but you're giving it all away to the public. Because yeah, let me put it this way, folks. I totally could have traveled to Los Angeles. I totally could have gone to E3. I got approved for Press Pass this year and last year. You have no idea how expensive it is to get all access passes for multiple people. And remember, if I'm going to travel for something like that, it means I'm going to cover it, which means I'd have had to bring a camera guy.
Mhm.
I'd had to bring at least one other reporter, and they're probably going to need a camera guy. So you're talking like 4 people in Los Angeles in the summertime at an
Ugh.
event that's going to, at the cheapest, cost me $500 to get one pass.
You see,
So that's why there was not a Cheater's Guide to the Universe live from E3.
I have to go back and point out something you said before that totally hits the nail on the head. It used to feel like the elite, the magazines that we grew up reading, would go to E3, and we'd be like the peons waiting for any grubby little information that can reach our grubby little fingers. And now that any Tom, Dick, and Harry and Lucy can enter, it's kind of like, what's the big deal again? Basically, I guess the accessibility is what I'm trying to get at. Which should be a good thing that we can all sit here and watch it live on Twitch or Mixer, what have you not. The luster is gone. I just have to reiterate that.
Well, that's one of those interesting things. Like, not only that, but the idea that, you know, gaming magazines especially, but gaming websites even, as we used to know them, are gone. Like, everybody has a gaming podcast or a Let's Play channel, and they all have Patreons. We don't have a Patreon, but everybody has a Patreon. Everybody else has a Patreon. And so
I should get a Patreon, probably.
Yeah, that's going to be the next thing. You got to get a Patreon. Pay me to play video games, people. Come on. I love being a lawyer, but if you're going to pay me to play video games, I will totally do it.
Yeah, me too.
I would quit practicing law entirely and play video games literally all day.
Yes, stop teaching, please.
Since you guys love making fun of how bad I am at playing video games, I figure, hey, why not? But let's kind of get into it. So, of course, before E3, you have two. Well, does Microsoft? I don't think Microsoft really counts as this. Microsoft really feels more like the E3 kickoff, whereas EA particularly does their stuff before E3 starts. And at first, I kind of thought, okay, well, they're doing it so that they feel like they're getting all the attention focused on them. But then I just feel like, no, they're just extending E3 to the extra day, like, because if I'm E3, if I'm the organizer for E3, I'm just saying, no, you can't be on our site, anywhere near our site, the day before and broadcast. Like, that's crazy. But EA is now the official start to E3 in most people's minds.
Yeah, you're right. And what a way to start this year. You want to go first on this? Like, it's up to you, man.
Oh, no. I bow to your superior gaming knowledge, Lando. This first one's all yours.
All right, so let me just preface this that I was taken for a ride last year. I mean, back in 2015 with the first Star Wars Battlefront. Big fan of the original games on the original PlayStation 2 and Xbox. So of course, with the Force Awakens coming out, I was super excited when EA announced that DICE, the makers of Battlefield, working on Star Wars Battlefront. Let me just say they released, anyone who's purchased the game or heard of the game knows that they released a bare bones experience for $60 and then shoehorned a whole bunch of DLC that's basically segregated the community, and it wasn't fun. This time around, EA seems to have learned from the mistakes with Battlefront 2. Star Wars, and as soon as they announced that they're doing a second one, I was, you know what? I was like, they can take me for a second ride. I'm totally on board. But this time around, it looks like I won't be. Can I curse on this show? Is that okay? Is that?
Yes, if you can curse on here with me. Yes, you can curse.
I gotta make sure.
You're fine to curse.
I'm just making sure. Okay, it looks like this time.
No,
EA
you can't fucking curse on my fucking show. Damn it.
EA is not gonna fuck me this time around. They're actually pulling out the full Monty by dropping DLC for Star Wars Battlefront 2. In fact, they've added a lot basically people be saying it looks like what they should have done the first time around back in 2015. But I digress. They've added a lot more this time around. EA kicked off their show with gameplay footage, and people playing Star Wars Battlefront 2. And it looks like they've actually ramped it up this time around, as in an actual game that will be skill based. It looks like it has twice or three times as much content as Battlefront 2015. So that was the kicker, and that was the first thing to get me excited about this year's E3. I think you and I, Ruthless, we watched the EA presser, didn't we? We watched the conference. We both watched Battlefront 2. What were your thoughts? Did you play Battlefront 2015, or is this like your first? What's your history with the series?
Here's the thing. I own, and the funny thing is, they made a humble bundle for like every Star Wars game basically about 2 months before Battlefront, the remake for Battlefront, came out. So yes. I, of course, I'm a classic Battlefront player. Shout out to everybody at UMKC when we used to all in the dorms play Battlefront right between breaks between Halo and FIFA. But when they announced this, I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. Oh, man, this looks really good. Then I heard no single-player campaign. Then I heard about the multiplayer experience. And I was out. I was immediately out. I still have not bought it. And it's for like $6 on Steam sale, maybe. But honestly, I just don't have a desire to. Whereas, I had such an attachment to the original Battlefront. I loved the original Battlefront. It was one of the reasons that I ended up buying an Xbox instead of a PS4 at first. Yes, folks. I owned an Xbox before I owned a PS3. But it was one of the things that I did really on purpose. I was like, man, no, I'm into this. I like this. I'm definitely into, everything about this Star Wars Battlefront. This is a lot of fun. And I liked it more than Halo. And then they made this remake, and they just stripped away all the stuff I loved. There weren't as many maps. There wasn't the conquest mode. There wasn't a lot of the things that made Battlefront to me. And so for this, it seemed like, no, we're going to give you all that back because we realized we screwed up, and we don't want you to hate us anymore. That's basically what it seems like they did.
Yeah, you're not too far off the button there.
Yeah, the problem with this E3 announcement of it, though, I wanted to know about the single player. The multiplayer is going to be multiplayer. Number one, Darth Maul is apparently so OP that's the first thing I'm going after. If you're playing with me on the other team, I'm not even sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm going to pick Darth Maul, and then I'm going to murder all of you. That's how this is going to work. Because watching that multiplayer footage, Darth Maul was just destroying stuff. It was like the guy whoever got Darth Maul and then just went on a rampage. So yeah, destroyed Rey, killed Han, went just tearing through clone troopers and separatists alike. Just don't mess with Darth Maul. But but that being said, I wanted to see the single player campaign because they were telling an interesting story. It's the Empire after the Emperor dies. So what goes forward with this group? What's the overarching story? I wanted some info on that, and I got none of that info. I mean, I did get the very attractive actress.
Yes.
Playing the lead character. She did decide to go full dominatrix on the crowd. She basically got up and said, all of you need to shut up and pay attention to me.
She was hot.
That was basically the entire presentation. I have words to say. You're going to shut up now because you're idiots, and you're going to play this game regardless of what I say. Now shut up so I can talk. And then she's dressed in this really, really odd version of her character's outfit from the cinematic trailer we've seen. So I was like, all right, whatever, I'll roll with it. But I'm hyped about the game. I want to play the game. I'm not pre-ordering because I agree with TB. Pre-orders are pointless, especially now because you're pre-ordering to get people early, but you get everyone you need anyway.
Yeah.
Finn and Phasma included in the game for free, no matter when you get it. You basically just get early access. You don't get extra stuff. So, yeah, man, let's do it. I'm down with that. I'm probably going to get on PC because I think, and we'll get to Microsoft in a minute, I'm pretty sure my Xbox One is going to go bye-bye very soon.
You're selling it?
Possibly. We'll get to that when we get to Microsoft's conference. But no, what did you overall think about Star Wars? Because that seemed to be the bulk of EA's presentation. It was 30 minutes of Star Wars, 28 of which were Battlefront 2, and 2 of which were that Galaxy Heroes game.
Yeah. Well, okay, so basically they had two teams set up to play as the Separatist and the clones, and one of the objectives was to guard as the Separatists was to move a giant carrier. I forgot the acronym for. I'm so sorry, guys. As a fan, and I'm ashamed. They had to follow it up an alleyway to. It was a three-stage map. First, you have to escort this carrier, and then you have to hold the front of the palace, and then you have to infiltrate into the palace as the separatists, whereas the clones have to defend on each stage. It felt a lot more hectic. It felt like there's a lot more going on, which is saying a lot because in the last game there was a lot going on to begin with, but this time it just seems like there's a whole lot more going on. I don't know how to explain it, but you can already tell it the way that they're going about this that it's totally going to be skill based, and they're bringing back classes, which is really interesting. Is that you could play as support classes, like say an Imperial officer, and they would have some kind of passive uh, uh, skills that would help out your teammates, like they have passive healing or passive attack boost, so on and so forth. A big issue that I had with Battlefront 2015. The reason I love playing Battlefront, let me just preface this, is that I love the vehicles. I love flying X-Wings and TIE fighters and piloting a walker and so on and so forth.
Right.
In 2015, you don't and then you pose and then you summon a ship. This time around, it's going to be based on points. If you're a high scorer, you can use those points to either summon a hero like or a villain like Darth Maul or Rey, or you can use that towards a starfighter or some kind of troop transporter, so on and so forth. So they're really leaning towards people who want to play well and then reward those players that play well by allowing them to build points and use those points any way they see fit, which is what really made me excited. Again, the first Battlefront, Battlefront 2015 looked amazing. This one looks even more so. The particle effects are ramped up. There seems to be a lot more going on the screen, like I said earlier. In fact, the first stage is Theed, which is on Naboo, and there are flurries of paper in the air, and it looks like a deserted town as both the droids and the clones are going at it. It just looks amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on hopefully an open beta because it just looks like they've packed a lot more in, and it's going to feel more competitive. The last game, 2015, just felt like I hate to say it, like anyone can get into it and they can do okay. This one, it seems like it's going to really separate the stormtroopers from the clone troopers. People that suck versus the people who are really fucking good. So I'm really looking forward to Battlefront 2. And yeah, I think they're gonna hold back on showing story elements. Maybe this campaign might not be as long, but I think they're gonna try and hold that till it's closer to the release date, which is in like November, around the same time The Last Jedi drops. So another thing I really liked about Battlefront 2 is, and I really hope they fix the controls for this, but the flight mechanics for the air combat looks so much better. It looks like they actually worked on. It looked like they actually worked on it this time around. Look, I was a sucker enough to buy Battlefront 2015 twice. I bought it first on PS4, and then I didn't buy the DLC for it, and then I bought it the Ultimate Edition for my PC for like $20 when it was on sale. And on the PS4 on the controller, flying is easy. It's not that difficult, but on the keyboard and mouse, it's a nightmare. But this time around, they look like they put some more forethought into it. It looks like the screen's no longer congested full of crap. It seems like it's more simplistic in terms of things on my screen. But I hope the controls are fixed because the Starfighter looks like it was right up my fucking alley.
Well, there you go. Now we're not going to spend all this time with EA on Star Wars because they did announce some other stuff. We got a quick tease for Anthem, which we'll bring up later when we get to the really important press conference from Microsoft. But they also, I'm a big sports gamer. You guys kind of know that I don't do Let's Plays for sports games, but obviously I usually get most sports games that come out. I was really happy to see the changes to FIFA that are coming up, though not really revealed in their trailer. They kind of really just talked about them more. A lot of what affects how, and somewhere Chris Moncrief is listening, going, "Why don't you play with me anymore?" Because I'm busy when you're not busy, and you're busy when I'm not busy. I'm so happy because Chris and I have been friends since undergrad, and it was like 6 years before he finally could beat me more than a fluke win after I got tired of playing.
Wow.
Like he got to the point where he was he's a legitimately badass person. And it's like we all have that person because somewhere also Steve Nearing is watching this going, yeah, I used to kick your ass though, like before Chris, was losing to you. Like yeah, because Steve used to literally just beat the crap out of me with FIFA 03 and 04 and 05. Like those were the ones where like I learned how to play FIFA. So I've been with the series for a long time. And the important thing about FIFA is really updating the physics engine, updating reactions, really getting a chance to see the. Honestly, I wish they would fix the crowd, which is such a weird thing to say, but it just doesn't. No place looks correct. Like they don't have all the stadiums, they don't have enough stadiums, they don't have all the stadiums, and because of that, they also don't have all the crowd effects right. Like I'm sorry, but I was still hearing "We Love United, We Do" chants in for some reason the no camp when I'm playing Barcelona against Barcelona. Like that's crazy. I don't care how much I'm beating them by, and that really kind of annoyed me. But it looks like they've done a lot of updates. They look to be getting the reactions better. It's really all about trying to mimic uh, what it's really like to have your foot on a ball on the pitch. And because we don't want Konami ever taking back the lead
Oh,
with Pez or Winning 11, depending on what country you're in, I was very happy to see that. Really happy to see they're going to continue with Alex Hunter. It's really funny. Alex Hunter, for those folks that don't know, is modeled after real life player Marcus Rashford. So I started laughing like a kid when they had Marcus Rashford talking about how badass Alex Hunter is. It's like, are you for real? Like y'all had him, y'all had him say this about himself. Really? Okay, whatever. Let's go. The other big thing, of course, Madden 18 getting a story mode called Long Shot. Don't know what it's going to be about. Looks more like a player who maybe should have gotten drafted and tries to make it in through an open audition. Maybe don't know what that's going to be. Maybe he strikes out in undergrad and then comes back to play. Don't know what that is. Maybe injury or something of that nature. And then the big surprise on sports was NBA Live 18. Nobody plays live. Look, like Lando, nobody plays live, man. Like I
why?
haven't played live. I haven't played NBA Live since 2005, man.
Gee.
12 years since I even cared about an NBA Live game. And I know for a couple of those years they took off and didn't make a game. I still don't care. And this new game actually looks like it's worth it. They have just an open shoe designer, so you don't have to worry about signing to make shoes. Apparently, it doesn't cost you money to put the shoes on your player. They're combining street ball with
Wait, you can make shoes?
yeah, in both 2K17 and apparently Live 18. And I'm guessing it's going to be the same in 2K18 for 2K Sports as well. You've always been able to make shoes for like the last 4 years, so you can make the design the shoes that your player plays in. And so 18 is combining street ball with NBA play. That looks interesting. They were doing some interesting stuff with it. They're really going deep into character models, trying to make sure everyone looks correct, like themselves as they look presently. So I mean, it's entirely possible that 18 could get a fan base that's rabid enough to keep playing it. I know they've had major trouble holding on to folks, so I'm looking forward to that. Even though I don't know that I'm going to be one of the people going out to buy it initially. Like that seems like one of those. If it's on sale cheaper in a humble bundle, I might check you out. But otherwise, I ain't got time for it. And
I gotta
then
also mention that there's also FIFA 18 for Switch for anyone who has a Switch and likes
well,
FIFA.
I was
Is
going to
that
get to that because that's one of the controversial things that's going to bring up along with the Need for Speed and the Way Out stuff. FIFA is coming to Switch, but it is apparently a, to Twitch to Switch. It's apparently a Switch specific version of FIFA, similar to how they used to do it for the Wii, which means it's probably not. Well, one, it can't. Apparently, the Switch can't run Frostbite, so they had to do things differently anyway. Which means that it's probably going to be similar to what they do for past the legacy generation consoles. So PS3, Xbox 360, and I'm not necessarily sure that fans are going to be too happy with it. It depending on how it looks, it may be interesting for me. Like if it looks essentially like 15 or 16 does, maybe even if it looks like 17 from this year, and it's just not. It just doesn't look as sharp as 18. I'm not going to begrudge that. I don't know what's because of the storage situation on the Switch.
It's
I don't
gimped.
know how.
It sounds
Well,
gimped.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. They haven't said what that's going to be, so I don't know how much you're going to lose. Like, if you're just losing the journey with Alex Hunter, then nobody's going to care because Ultimate Team. No, seriously, with FIFA folks, and they know this right now, even though they're going to just shake their heads at me about it. FIFA fans know it's Ultimate Team, it's career mode, and the journey was an interesting thing, but nobody cares. Like, it's not important enough for us to be like, no, I'm not going to buy it. And for the Switch, like that's an honest, better mobile situation than trying to find a PS Vita or and the controller case for the PS Vita so that you have the L2 and R2 buttons. I have
Don't
one
do
of those.
this, Ruthless. Don't insult the Vita like that.
I'm
Don't
not
do that.
insulting the
It's too
Vita.
early.
I both have a Vita and that controller case. But shout out to the super fan that sent that to me, by the way, because that was sent to me by a wonderful fan of the Wrath of this podcast that heard I had a Vita and sent me that. And it's really nice. It's really useful. I've been remote playing like a madman because of it. But the reality is, it's easier to have a Switch than to try and find all that stuff. And so, if all we're losing is the journey, no one's going to care. Mobile FIFA is a great idea. The fact that the Switch can really go where your PlayStation and your Xbox and your PC certainly can't, and you're going to feel more comfortable with it, like that's a great thing. Being able to just hold the Switch in your hands and using the controllers on the machine and just doing it that way, that's going to feel so much better, so much better for players. So I'm happy with that. But in that same controversy, I don't like this Need for Speed game
Why? What's
at
wrong with it?
all. Okay, I don't like games where you have cutscenes in the middle of you racing because it brings you out of the cutscene and you don't have orientation to what's going on the screen. Uh, Need for Speed has had this problem before, where they like major sections, like major story sections of the game, have done that before, just not to a what seems like a very large degree. Payback looks like that's going to happen a very large amount of the time you're racing, whereas I can remember Carbon, Most Wanted. I forgot the game that came after those, but those also had some cutscene moments, but they immediately gave you time to orient yourself on the screen. Payback, it was out of the cutscene back into racing, and they were happening mid-race as opposed to happening at the end or at a major story moment that you saw coming. That's
That
not
breaks the immersion.
exactly. I'm also not really happy with how, for all of the storage space we have these days, the fact that Need for Speed still has you can only have so many cars in your garage thing going is stupid. Absolutely stupid. Midnight Club Dub Edition lets you collect more cars than Need for Speed Payback does. And y'all know when Dub Edition came out. Like, let's not play this game. Let's stop this. This is stupid. This is entirely stupid. So I'm worried about that. I'm worried about some of the controls. It looks pretty. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks pretty, but it's not what I like. It's not what's going to get me back to the Need for Speed franchise. Give me Underground 3 so I can really go crazy with the customization on my cars because that's what I care about in Need for Speed. Like, I want the car to look exactly like I want it to look. So that was back in a big way. I'm happy with that, but I don't like. I should be able to upload custom logos and put those on my vehicle. I should be able to tell my friend, hey, like, draw me something really cool, and I'm going to put it on my car, and I'm going to race people online and kick their asses in this thing, and be like, yeah, my friend made this cool ass mural. That's what just their ass. Like, I need those moments. And Need for Speed, for all the things that they did going forward in the graphics of the game, it just doesn't do that, and it's not exciting. I've never been so bored by a racing game until I saw The Crew 2. But Need for Speed Payback was bad. Like it wasn't. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I take it back. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just average. And Need for Speed needs more than average. Need for Speed needs another underground game that just goes entirely bonkers with it. So, that's.
I'm surprised they still
the other
make
really
Speed games. Honestly, like I'm still stunned.
it's. I mean, there really isn't a better like hyper realistic car game out there. You think about things like what's it, Grid, You think about the Dirt series is a rally series that takes it ultra serious. Um, Gran Turismo, of course, Gran Turismo and Forza are the two super ultra mega, hyper realistic racing games that go all the way down to like tiny flecks of paint coming off the cars that makes you lose 5 miles per hour. Like they go over the top with Gran Turismo and Forza these days. So you need that game that's still kind of arcadey in that burnout after burnout F-Zero kind of fashion, but has all the customization you want, like Midnight Club had been doing for so many years, like Project Gotham had done for a while, and like you kind of got out of Project Cars. And Need for Speed has always filled that. Like when they went back to Pursuit, it was because people wanted the Pursuit stuff back again. But yeah, I'm just not. I wasn't impressed. It was just average. It's like, man, everything in this game can be done in games that are 3 and 4 years old now. The game that was impressive,
That's not
most
fun.
impressive, even more than Star Wars was, but for both good and bad reasons, unfortunately, was A Way Out. Now, did you watch that part of it? The prison break game, the co-op prison break
Yes,
game?
I did. What don't you like about A Way Out? I thought that was pretty interesting.
Okay. It looks extremely interesting. And I want to get your take on this. It looked extremely interesting, but I'm worried about it in the same way I worry about like games like the Kane and Lynch games, Army of Two.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going.
Like,
Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, it's that, like, those are my worries with it. Like, it looks very interesting, but how much of the game is the prison break? How much of the game is the post prison break, whatever you guys are doing? And that narrative direction really worries me because it looked like it went from that into a buddy cop tour around the country, Thelma and Louise kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which, like, if you're expecting, I expect people to want to play this in co-op, and this is a great game for, I think, for streamers like yourself. I'm not so certain that the average person, once we learn more about it, is going to want to play it because apparently, and this has not been confirmed yet, but apparently this is entirely co-op, which means you cannot play this on your own.
Oh, but why? That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Well, that's the thing. Now, I've only seen a few sources that have said this, so I'm not certain. Uh, I'm really not certain whether or not that's true or not.
Well, let's talk about the pros and cons of that then, because I know there are people who love playing games with their friends all the time. They always complain like, "Oh, I'd rather play a game with my friends rather than by myself."
Yeah, but I'll put it this way:
If I,
the people who have the money to constantly buy games like A Way Out are not at the age where constantly being able to find their friends when they want to play is a guaranteed situation. Man, I'm 35. Like, I make no bones about that fact. I know I am in the older class of gamers, even though I'm still younger than most of that older class of gamers you people think about. Like, my friends don't have time.
Mhm.
I barely have time to catch up with you on Facebook. How am I gonna have time to wrangle you into let's go play a Way Out? We need because it's got to be at least a 20-hour game.
Oh,
There's no way this is a 5-hour game. You know what I mean?
yeah. Damn.
5 hours on a Saturday? Yeah, I probably can pull that off. 25 hours?
Not happening.
Man,
Not
I don't want
happening.
to wait. I don't want to wait to 6 weeks for us to finish this game in small chunks. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yikes. Oh, let's hope they don't go that route. But
Well, but that's the thing. All these major outlets have been saying this is a this is a co-op only game, split screen or online. Like,
then I guess it'd be that game that you just play when your friends are around. Like you just don't touch it when because you can't
right,
touch it by yourself. So you just wait until
this
you have
is
a friend.
EA. You think this game isn't going to be $60 at launch? This is an
Of
EA
course, it's gonna be
game.
$60.
This is a full $60 AAA EA release. This is $60 guaranteed. If it's 40, I'll be surprised. But less than 40, I would be downright shocked enough to need like emergency medical assistance. because because there's no way this game doesn't look. You look at the game, you look at the quality, the gameplay mechanics, just how you do stuff in the game, and then of course, yeah, all the material. If they're doing post the prison break and the prison break, That's got to be a long game. That can't be a short game.
Uh-uh.
It's at least. I don't know. You haven't played this yet, because you have a thing with this particular brand of fantasy. But it's a very Shadow of Mordor situation. And Shadow of Mordor is you can technically beat in like 20 hours. Like 20 hours, technically you can beat the whole game. The main story mode. So if even if this is that 20, please tell me what working adult has 20 hours
For a
to
game.
dedicate to both finding their friend who also has to have 20 hours to play this game on launch.
Then I guess it's just for that age reason you mentioned before, the younger kids who have their
Yeah.
friends hanging around the neighborhood and the time. I guess that's it. I guess it's not for cats like
And then
us.
it's EA. Then you got to think about EA's online situation because this is online and split screen. So if you don't have your friends near you, you got to go deal with EA servers online for this thing.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Exactly. So
Ooh.
while I thought EA was interesting, and they did, like I said, we started off a lot with them because they were the first big presence. I did want to move us on though, and that is of course to Microsoft
Yes,
because
sir.
Microsoft really wants you to believe that they have killed Sony.
No, dude,
They really want you to believe it.
I didn't figure that Microsoft wanted that. Are you sure you're not getting that from like the obnoxious fan base?
Mm,
What's your basis for that?
okay, look at what Microsoft announced at E3
Yes.
because let's be frank here. Sony could have done the wait thing with the PS4 Pro and done the same situation and didn't, and there's a good reason for it. Microsoft decided to hold as long as possible on Project Scorpio and come out instead of calling it like the Xbox Scorpio or the Scorpio, they came up with their new moniker for this thing, which is the Microsoft Xbox One X. Now,
Xbox.
for
Wow. I'm
for
sorry. Go ahead.
you really smart people who've already noticed this, yes, the XBOX. The acronym is Xbox. They seriously did this on purpose so that you would be annoyed and impossible to spot. But here's the thing: it's going to backfire because what do they already have out? The Xbox One S, right? And that only comes in
Mhm.
white, and the Xbox One X only comes in black. So if you're a parent, because that's who's
Uh,
going to be primarily buying this machine for their kids. If you're a parent at Christmas time, heck, forget even Christmas time. If you're a parent at Black Friday, because this comes out in November, if you're a parent at Black Friday, holiday season shopping for your kid, you see a white Xbox that costs $250. You see a black Xbox that costs $500 plus tax. If you're in America, which is where it's cheapest, because I've already talked to some Canadians, I've talked to some folks in Europe, and apparently it's like $800 in some places. Um,
delicious.
so you're gonna tell me instead of paying $250, you're gonna spend the 800 because you think your kid said Xbox One X, not One S. You're
So you're
making a
saying
decision
basically
here.
it's gonna be a marketing nightmare. Pretty much what happened to Wii U.
Oh yeah, it's an Ouroboros situation. Like this is literally the Wii U situation. So it's the Xbox One X. So it's just a modification of the Xbox One. So I can just give my kid an Xbox One. Oh, these regular Xbox Ones are $150. Oh, these Xbox One S's are 250. I can just get the kid the S. It's the same thing, isn't it? As some nerd comes running up to them, some Microsoft fanboy who's deep in the console wars comes running up to, no, it's not the same. Get away from me, weirdo. Back up off me, weirdo. Like that's what's gonna happen every time. But Microsoft dropped the Xbox One X One, X1 X, XX1, XX, XXX1.
Now you're
The
killing me.
Microsoft
Now you're
X.
killing me. You're killing me. I'm not. I'm
The
not.
first
I'm
thing
not
I saw from somebody on there was saying, "Oh, look, Microsoft has now decided to do Tumblr tag naming for their systems because it's
Oh
the X at the beginning and the end with box one in the middle."
my god. I'm not. I'm not as I. I'm not telling you that I'm sold on the Xbox. Xbox One X. Jesus, yeah. Just saying it's kind of making throw me off. Um. I actually have to wrap my mind around as I
Let's
was
talk about
saying
while you get yourself together. We'll talk about real quickly about the important good things about the Xbox One X. That is that all of their 360 games are in the catalog backwards compatible. If you have the disc, you can play it from the disc or download the game once the disc is in the machine to play it on your Xbox One X. Um, all of the original Xbox games will eventually be supported as they get time to get through them all.
Are we
Uh,
sure that it's all and not like a select thing that they've been
that's what they
doing?
said. They said all. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to hold to that all, but they said all. So,
Now I could play some Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball again. You get me all
oh
excited, dude.
Lord, oh Lord,
What do you mean, oh lord?
not that
What do you
game.
mean everyone?
I am not going to deal with the like throngs of feminists that are going to come burn this place down because you love Dead or Alive volleyball.
Oh, shush! I That game is so misunderstood. Like it's a fun volleyball game, okay? And I want to play on my Xbox One
For the
X.
record,
Okay,
it is legitimately a good volleyball game, but
it
that's
is.
not why people play it. Like, let's be real. You might play it like that, but that's not why people in general play this game. Because Outlaw Volleyball is also a really good volleyball game, and
Is it?
nobody's played it. Oh yeah, Outlaw Volleyball is really good.
I've heard about Outlaw. Let me Google this real
Go
quick.
back and check it out. It's actually I believe it's Steve Carell that does the announcer voice on it, which was hilarious when I first played it.
Steve Carell
Um,
is in the office. Steve Carell?
yeah, yeah.
No
So
way. Okay, thank you.
I'm pretty sure he was the announcer on it because it was like Outlaw Volleyball, Outlaw Golf, it was all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's going to be on there. Microsoft has said that. Well, if you look at the box itself, it doesn't seem to require a Connect.
You're
So
right.
the
Steve Carell
Connect,
was the announcer for that. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, Connect actually might be dead.
Finally,
We may have finally won, people. We might have finally got them.
I haven't hooked my Connect Xbox One in months. All right,
Which is funny when you
months.
think about it, because the Connect was getting treated like the PlayStation Move, and now the Move has new life as part of PSVR, which is just grand when you think about it. So Microsoft had another really big thing, and we're just gonna get straight to it. Anthem, BioWare, developers of the Mass Effect series, came out and said, "Hey, we got a little bit for you here at the EA conference, but we're about to show real big at the Microsoft conference. Check out Anthem." Now, Anthem is multi-platform. It is PC, PS4, and Xbox. How hyped were you when you saw the Anthem trailers?
Listen, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm actually a pretty big fan of Fantasy Star Online. And the first thing I thought when they went out into the world in their mech suits was Fantasy Star Online, and I was automatically sold. First off, the whole flying Iron Man armor thing. I'm sorry, I was sold there. So I take that back. I was sold at that moment. I'm hyped, dude. That was one of the ones that made me perk my eyebrows or raise my eyebrows on the E3. Anthem looks gorgeous. I just hope it plays well. I hope it has enough of a consistent world to keep people coming back. I'm tired of these games that look great in practice, but then they only last an hour or two when you get into them. I really need something that's meaty, that's exciting. That's not Destiny.
Well,
I don't think Destiny's that good. I think it's horrible.
I think Destiny 2 might be, but original Destiny, yeah. Destiny had so much hype, and it did look really good, and it does if you just look at it, for the aesthetic. It is a really good looking game, but there's nothing there. There's so many
nothing. That's what I'm worried about with Anthem. Nothing.
Well, here's the difference. I remember watching the original Destiny trailer. I remember watching the launch, the announcement, all that stuff. There was not a moment in that made you look as powerful as Anthem makes you look. If you
No.
truly are able to do the things that they were showing in that launch announcement trailer for Anthem, then it is not only a Destiny killer, it may be the next big MMO.
Oh yeah,
And
I
I don't mean
totally
that.
agree.
I mean like challenging Blizzard Warcraft level. People leaving Overwatch to come play this level of shit. If you're as powerful as you look, because when the dude popped out with the spreader missiles, where there's like 20 of them that just went crashing into that group of enemies and destroyed them all, I was like, no game lets me do that. I always have to like shoot them 9 times with the same overpowered weaponry. How does this? That's gonna be so. That's interesting. I like that you can modify your suit however you want. I like that you can just kind of fly around at will,
Yeah, that's
and
so
it doesn't seem
cool.
like you need fuel for that.
You know what, man? My big problem with Destiny is that all the enemies feel like bullet sponges, and it gets boring. I hope that's not
Because
the
they are.
case.
Because
But
every one
yeah,
of them are.
yeah. So I'm hoping with Anthony that's not gonna be the case. Where I'm just sitting there holding the trigger, I'm just like bored of my mind. But you think people would leave? That's saying that people would leave Overwatch for Anthem? That's a tall order, dude. You know how big Overwatch is right now.
If it
I'm
is
not
as
that. I'm not
good
that big of an
as it
Overwatch
looks,
person.
yeah, but only if it's as good as it looks. Because I think as much as people love Overwatch, people do miss the ability to just go out and with your friends go do
Explore.
actual missions. Yeah, Overwatch is going to get to that point where its saturation level is so deep that there's a hardcore fan base that will never leave it.
Of course.
But if you give people stuff to do, and their drip feed model has always worked with that. But if Anthem has a big initial drop with a lot of drip feeding, they could challenge Overwatch because that game, frankly, and I don't have the reaction times to really play these games like I used to. But
Jesus. Not
I
that
really,
old. I'm only 4 years older
dude,
than I am, dude.
oh man, but you gotta remember, like I grew up on Quake, man. Like I grew up on Unreal Tournament. Like those were happening as I was finishing high school and going off to college. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I was truly I remember being in like Doom and Wolfenstein were on the very first PC I ever owned.
Jesus Christ,
I had
man.
an Acer Acros back in 1992. Like you hear me?
You're
Like,
really fucking dating yourself, dude. I just got to
yeah.
this country back in 1992. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, man. So like I have been with computer and console gaming for a long time. And I just don't have the reactions anymore. I was playing Killing Floor 2 with some friends because it's free on PlayStation Plus. And I was like, man, like even 5 years ago, I would be doing a lot better than I am right now. But my accuracies are still really good. I'm not fast enough as I used to be. So Anthem looked like it's like all right, third person. Okay, I like that. Okay, I look like I'm powerful. Like I feel like these missiles are doing damage. These guns are starting doing damage. When they take down that like animal looking tank kind of
The
machine,
Walker?
the
Yeah.
walker, yeah, I was like that looks interesting. I like the look of that. It was like this is all the stuff that Destiny kind of said maybe we are gonna do, and then just said no, we're not doing that.
Don't forget, you get to like. Did you mention that you get to customize your suits too?
Yeah,
And
that's
you
the
get
thing. Like
different glass. You get different
customized
glasses.
suits. I'm gonna do like I'm trying to find some like Vanta Blacks, all Vanta Black suit with like one
Oh,
silver stripe on it or some crap like that. I just want to do. It looks like they're gonna give you all the stuff that you want to do, which gives you time to want to do stuff and makes you want to go back to the game over and over again. And if they do all the loot dropping, because it does seem to be a looter shooter in that aspect, that's gonna keep people playing. I want to play this game.
but what platform will you playing on? Xbox One, PC, Xbox One X. What is your poison?
Well, I'm probably gonna go PC unless I have enough friends that are getting on PS4. There's no way I'm going to Xbox with. There's no point. I will say this now, so we don't have to address it ever again during this entire conversation. There is after this press conference, and this is the big down for Microsoft. This press conference was amazing at proving to you why you do not need an Xbox console.
Because you can get the same shit on your PC. I know.
People, if you don't believe me right now, like I will go on my personal Facebook page. You can
Jeez.
message me over there. You can comment on here, and I'll put the link up in the comments and possibly the description. There is a man on YouTube right now from Review Tech USA who has a $500 4K gaming rig.
Rich? You mean Rich?
Not like
You tech?
not that fake got it at the mall ass
Oh my
4K
god.
because you listen to somebody in a computer store. I mean, he literally shows here's the memory you need. Here's the processing chip. Here's all the stuff I did to make this 4K gaming rig for under $500. And he could have gone $300 cheaper with some other if he had done certain things a different way.
I don't believe you.
True 4K gaming.
I don't believe
True
you.
4K
I
gaming.
want that link.
Oh yeah, I got you on that. That means there is no need to buy an Xbox One X at all because every game that Microsoft said, "Oh, well, this is coming out for Xbox One X," and the Microsoft family of consoles also said this is also coming to Windows 10. And if you think that any of these games are going to be available on Steam, you have lost your mind. No one uses the Windows 10 store. Nobody.
Well, I
Nobody
do.
on their. Come on now.
I got Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2 on there, and that one other game, the one that was by the guy that did Mega Man.
You got them on sale, and that doesn't
Recore.
count.
What?
Who is connected with there that is not on Steam?
Well, you have me there. I wouldn't have an answer for you there.
Exactly. Steam is going to have all these games on Windows. So unless you're a Mac gamer, which how do you people exist still?
My ex was.
Unless you're a Mac gamer, you have nothing to worry about. You have literally no need to buy an Xbox at all. That's why I'm selling mine. Because I know some parents are going to be like, oh man, an Xbox right now for $400? Those things are going to be $500 here in the wintertime. Gotcha.
You're a mess.
It's all go, baby. But no, like Microsoft did a great job of showing. They showed us the Metro Exodus trailer. I was hyped. It's like a new Metro game. Oh yeah, I got to play this. I was all over it. And I'm like, wait, that's not exclusive. It's gonna be on Windows and PS4. No. Oh yeah, I'm not in. Like I'm looking at this going, I don't need this. I'm looking at every game. They have Minecraft doing crossplay, but not with Sony, and I found out why. So this is not exclusive because other sites are reporting on this, but this is some hilariously shady practice. Microsoft is doing crossplay with Xbox, PC, and the Switch with Minecraft.
Yes.
Big deal, it's Minecraft. Why Minecraft needs to go into 4K, I have no idea, but whatever. Do you know what happens if you're a Switch gamer that wants to get Minecraft and crossplay with somebody on Xbox?
Oh, yes, I read about this. Yes. Should I say it or are you going to say it? Who's going to say it?
You have to get an Xbox Live account in order to play across platforms.
Yeah, that actually makes no sense. It's
even
like
if you're playing between a Switch and a PC, you still have to get an Xbox Live account to log in. That's not crossplay. That's demanding other services come on your service.
I don't know. That's a bit much. Speaking of Minecraft,
like,
you don't play. What did you think of that whole 4K thing for it, or whatever, that graphics pack? That looks pretty interesting to me.
It doesn't look interesting to me. I don't care. It's not even I don't like Minecraft. I think Minecraft's a great game. But it's 4K for Minecraft. It's like saying, yeah, we got Blu-ray for these black and white recordings. No, we got Blu-rays for these black and white recordings of Felix the Cat. Like, Felix the Cat doesn't need this. What do you mean? Like, Cuphead in 4K, totally understandable. Minecraft in 4K? Why?
Who knows, man?
But, of course, Microsoft, not to be outdone by EA, had to bring out their Forza 7, which, admittedly, is stunning. Not only did Forza 7 come out, they dropped the brand new Porsche 911 RS just to show you, hey, here's a car production, because we need a car because BMW outdid us before doing this. But here's a car at E3, and then they said they were going to have someone drive it, and they showed all of 20 seconds of the car being driven. I'm like, oh, I hate you people. But yeah, Forza 7 looks gorgeous. It has never not looked gorgeous. I don't know that Forza's. I don't know that enough people care about Forza to expand it. And the only reason why, because a lot of the later Forza games were propped up by the fact that anybody who was in the Top Gear, and basically everybody in the Top Gear, like if they were also a gamer, they bought Forza 7. Like I mean not 7, but they bought Forza games. I bought Forza games before myself because I was like, oh man, the Top Gear guys like it. And there was always rumors of like you could get secret codes and whatnot from watching Top Gear, things of that nature. That was never true. But they were always endorsed by the fellas. It's like, yeah, if they think the game's worth endorsing, enough to put Top Gear's actual name on it and not just them doing a commercial, cool, I'll check it out. And it's a really great alternative uh, to Gran Turismo, which only comes out once every 2,700 years. So I'm always down for that. Um, but Forza 7 looks good. It doesn't really break anything. Rare dropped the trailer for Sea of Thieves, which showed off a bit of extended gameplay. And I think Sea of Thieves would have been a bigger hit if it weren't for Ubisoft. Ubisoft was like, yeah, guess what? That ain't nothing. But the thing about do you know about the issue with Sea of Thieves?
What is the issue? I wasn't too excited because I'm not into pirates.
Okay, well, one, pirate games are very interesting, depending on which direction they go. And Sea of Thieves went a direction both graphically and with the gameplay that makes it very similar to a game that we're not going to put up here because, well, one, I don't know if it's done with early access yet. But there's a game called Black Wake that looks exactly like Sea of Thieves. It's already out. You can play it right now. And I mean similar gameplay, similar look, that cartoonish look,
Uh-huh.
um, and similar multiplayer online adventures. Dynamic world. All of that stuff, all going on. Same thing. Black Wake, same theme. Pirates. You get a ship. You can upgrade your ship. Your friends can get ships. You can ride around with your friends on one ship or multiple ships. All that stuff's going on. So, see if these looks great at first until you pull back and realize all of the stuff that's out there around it. I just want to say again, Metro Exodus. Metro is back. I
Listen,
don't
man.
know. I don't know whether it's open world or not, but it looked great regardless. I would hope that it's not open world because I really like I like that it was difficult to do things because you couldn't go anywhere you wanted. I don't know how they would handle ammo, which is the major issue in Metro games, in a true open world sandbox situation. But you were going to say something?
I have 2033, I think, on Steam. That's as far as I've gotten with Metro. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I've got 2033 and I've got Last Light. I love them both.
What is? They're based off of books, right? Look, I barely played it. They're based off of books, right? Metro.
Off of Metro 2033 and Metro 2035, and they're really good games. They're just really good games. Like the Ranger mode. The Ranger mode, folks, is what you saw in the trailer for Exodus. Ranger mode gets rid of the entire HUD. You just search for stuff. There's anywhere. You don't get told where to go. You just stuff's at there's a point you got to get to. You got to find stuff along the way. There's gonna be enemies. You're not gonna know where they're coming from, and it's the ultimate test of how good are you really at this game.
So what is it, like survival horror or survival
Yeah,
game? What is like the premise of Metro?
survival. I mean, I guess you could technically call that survival horror because it is an irradiated wasteland. Um, but it's the 2033 and Last Light are basically set, you know, in Russia, Chernobyl situations. So
Yeah.
it's not really a survival horror in the Resident Evil sense. It's more, or even in like the Dying Light, zombie game sense. It's really more in that just like dealing with the environment, sort of situation. So I really look forward to it. I'm really hyped about it. That's the only situation where it's like, if I were going to keep this Xbox, I would definitely want that game. But it's also coming out on PC, so I don't need an Xbox. So
The options.
again, I don't. There's not a point. All right, Microsoft, and we're going to go to Sony next, but Microsoft shot itself in the foot hard with this conference because I don't need an Xbox. I originally thought, oh, Cuphead's only going to be on Xbox One. I better make sure I have an Xbox. Oh, Scalebound only going to be on Xbox One. I better have an Xbox. Like those were games that I was like, yeah, this is totally worth it. And I'll just play certain sports games over there, like NHL, which I don't have a lot of people that I play with. And maybe they'll come out with like a new Halo that I want to play, and maybe, I'll do that kind of thing. No, that'll never come to PlayStation. So I was like, that's a good reason to have an Xbox. I'll get it when I have the money. It wasn't a big purchase. I got it at the end of 2018. It wasn't a big deal. So I was cool. I was fine with that. That was fine. But This conference has said you don't need that box. We got everything.
Convenience, brother.
We got everything on. Everything's on your PC, and you have a very awesome PC. I do have an awesome PC. I am going to up it with some new graphics cards here soon, so I can get even more ridiculous. Because I don't like that I can't play at ultra settings on one screen and have a movie streaming on the other.
You're a jerk.
That's not even first world problems. That's like entirely smug PC elitist problems,
You're a
and
trip.
I fully embrace that that's the case.
It's all good. Like I'm playing. I'm playing. I like at the convenience. And I love the options because I have a good gaming PC. I have an Xbox One. It's just good to have all those options. But you're right. There's nothing. If Anthem was a sole Xbox One X thing, then you'd have like a score for it. But like if I can get it on Xbox One or better yet my PC, why do I
Yeah,
need the Xbox One X or my Xbox One? So
and that's
yeah,
the
you're right.
deal.
I agree.
No matter how good Anthem is on Xbox One X, it's always going to be better on PC because you don't have to cap the frame rate on PC. So, however great your computer is, that's how great you can play Anthem. And if you think that 500 can, is giving you really good 4K gaming, imagine adding that $500 worth of stuff to what you already have on your PC.
Mhm.
So, like that's always been my thing with this. Like, just come on, guys. Like, think you are murdering your console. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe actually Microsoft wants. Maybe they want to murder the Xbox One as a PlayStation competitor, and they want to turn everything into at Microsoft into a Steam competitor, which would make sense. Just like if Microsoft really wants to compete with Steam, they should hook in with EA and get Origin to close up and move everything from Origin to the Windows Store. Like if they want to compete with Steam, they need to hook in with
Yeah.
somebody who's already in a better position but doesn't have the advantage that Steam has. And Origin would be the thing to do. Like I would if I'm Microsoft, I say, you know what? We're doing this Xbox One X, but next console generation, we're out. We're gonna go all in on PC. All of your Xbox games can now be played using this whatever attachment to your PC. Boom. Or all your Xbox games, if you got the disc, put it in your computer, and the new version of the Windows 10 store will recognize the disc, and and it'll let you download the game on your PC. I would get out of the console market because clearly, for everyone who wants a gaming system, Sony is winning right now. And for everybody who doesn't mind going a little bit down in graphics but wants a more fun game system, Nintendo has it on lock.
I have to agree. Despite having all the systems.
Everybody who has Yeah, think about it. Everybody who has Steam has to at least have Linux or Microsoft Windows. You have a better bet of trying to beat Steam than you ever have trying to beat Sony right now. And it'll save you money.
I don't think this is what Microsoft wanted people to realize during their E3 conference. This is some deep shit. Honestly, it kind of sucks for them, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. Ain't my money. Ain't my company.
Again, I am the Ruthless Wonder, not a Ruthless Wonder.
That is true. So wait, so what's next on the? I mean, we're
Sony.
so okay, Sony. You want to take this or should I do it?
You can take this one. I took Microsoft. You can have this one.
Okay, so Sony. Okay, for me personally, what I liked about Sony's conference. No, let me start with what I didn't like. They're just too serious right off the fucking bat. I'm sorry. Well, first off, they tried to come out weird with people on hypes and sitars and all those Indian instruments or Eastern instruments, and I was like, come on, guys, just get to the fucking games. Stop fucking around. So, the stuff that's either coming out in 2018 or 2019. Barely anything that's right around the corner within this year. Stuff that I'm looking forward to from Sony personally that made me raise my eyebrows are Monster Hunter World, which currently has the Monster Hunter community up in arms currently, and
So stellar looking. It's also not Sony exclusive though.
it's not. It's also coming out on PC and Xbox One. Okay, so the only exclusive that I was excited for from Sony was the remaster for Shadow of the Colossus because I am a huge Shadow of the Colossus fan. That's the only game that really made me go like, oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything else for Sony, I don't really care for God of War. Um, Well, they had Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I mean, 3. Sorry, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I've been playing better fighting games. Not too excited for that one. I wasn't wowed. I'm sorry. Only Monster Hunter World and the remaster for remake of Shadow Colossus, and Monster Hunter World isn't even exclusive. So there's that. What about you?
Um, Spider-Man.
Oh God, how can I forget? Yes,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I am looking very interested at this co-op horror game, Hidden Agenda, that's coming to PS4 and Vita, along with Undertale. It's called Hidden Agenda. So I'm looking at that. I like the Destiny 2 trailer. I'm still not gonna buy Destiny 2. Detroit looks interesting, so I really want
Oh yes, that's true. That's true. That's true.
that.
Is that exclusive? Is that exclusive?
Detroit, I'm not certain about. They haven't really said yet. God of War obviously is exclusive. You know the reason I really don't care about God of War?
What?
They replaced my boy TC Carson.
Really?
TC Carson is Kratos. Like
Oh.
I need you. I
Oh.
cannot believe that they got rid of him as the voice of Kratos. I was really mad about that, so I didn't really care. Uh, glad we got to see a good long look at Call of Duty World War II. Because I think if you don't sate those fanboys, they will like consume everything. I did like the Shadow of the Colossus remake. Even though I'm not a big Shadow of the Colossus fan, like it. Don't get me wrong, I understand its place in gaming history. I understand how good of a game it is. It just, it's not for me. It's not. I, I don't have anything bad to say about it. I didn't have a desire to constantly play and rave about it. Um,
I got you. That's the reason for you.
Dawn, which at first looked interesting, looks way boring now.
What?
Like
Which one?
I think that they downgraded it. Days Gone, the zombie game.
Oh, I've had enough of zombie games, dude. I can't believe people keep buying these fucking things.
I,
What is so excited about it? I don't.
well,
What is so exciting about it? What is your
at
take on it? I don't.
first, Days Gone, when it initially was shown, looked interesting because the zombies moved more like water as opposed to, single zombie coming at you, killing floor 2 style. It seemed more just like out. It's just like a true wave of zombies coming after you, like an unstoppable force of them, like they were hunting you. So that looked interesting. It looked like a Walking Dead game without the Walking Dead tag on it, and so that was interesting. It's like, okay, so we're gonna get basically the gameplay version of what Telltale keeps screwing up with. Um, I shouldn't say that. Telltale does some really good stuff with Walking Dead. Um, they can't do action to save their lives, and their engine is so old it might still be from like Star Wars games when they were still part of Lucas. Um, but yeah, like so Days Gone but it looked so boring. You don't really, it doesn't seem like you get to customize all that much. I think every character is kind of in their own dress. I was thinking this is kind of like, kind of like a, what's the Tom Clancy Wildlands game? Like,
Oh, Ghost Recon Wildlands.
yeah, it look little Ghost Recon Wildlands mixed with, with zombies. And I was like, oh, that might be pretty decent. Not nothing great, but it might be decent. And it just didn't. Horizon Zero Dawn, beautiful game, great game. Don't care about its expansion. Uncharted Lost Legacy looks interesting, but I I didn't see enough to warrant like wanting to get it because it comes out August 22nd. I was like, I don't know. Like I'm not a big Uncharted fan in the first place, and that didn't push me to go get it.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, I don't want to say anything bad about it. Ooh. And
We
just to say,
we
we already have Tomb Raider. We already have Tomb Raider. Why do we need? Are they lesbians? Is that the hook for this one? Like, I didn't understand no need. I didn't play the last
I,
Uncharted. I'm sorry, I left it alone. They're all the same game at this point. They're all kind of blur together. So this one, I was like, it's two women. Are they dating? Like, what's the big deal? And I just left it alone. I just didn't care.
yeah, I was really mad they didn't announce a Bloodborne sequel. Like I was expecting a Bloodborne sequel, it didn't get announced.
Oh, I thought they were gonna stop working on Souls games for a bit. The From Software cats. I thought it was a
Well, they
rumor.
are stopping with Souls games, but Bloodborne was something they make specifically for PlayStation, like
That is true.
specifically for Sony. So I figured that you might get a Bloodborne 2, and it's been rumored that that game does exist. They just didn't announce it at E3 for some reason. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's not supposed to come out until next year, and it's going to get announced at the end of the year, something like that. Maybe at the PlayStation Experience, something of that nature, because Sony does still have that coming up again. No, no more info from Ace Combat 7, other than it's now been pushed back to 2018, which, as people already know, pissed me right the fuck off. Uh,
I still want to give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, if it helps to improve the game, then let them do it. Give them some time.
This game was supposed to be out 2 years ago. This game was supposed to come out in 2015.
We can't
push back.
What about the Kingdom Hearts folks?
Yeah, I don't care about the Kingdom Hearts fans because you knew Kingdom Hearts 3 was never coming out. It wasn't supposed to exist in the first place. All these Kingdom Hearts fans, I'm sorry, Kingdom Hearts fans, but I care so little about your tears over this game that you shouldn't get in the first place because Square Enix should be making a Chrono Trigger remake. What in the world is wrong with you people? Sorry. I'm gonna get really angry and uppity about Chrono Trigger, and I don't want to do that right now.
I understand your pain, brother. You have to let it go.
That game will never have a remake because you could never put all the people in the room together to make another game, and that's why it's perfect. That's why they should have let Resurrection get made so that we could have had a 3D Chrono Trigger. But no, Square. Damn it! I'm getting angry again.
Just don't. It's not worth it, man. Just relax.
It's not worth it. Let's move on to Ubisoft. We're skipping around Bethesda for a reason. But let's get to Ubisoft real quick. Ubisoft showed one thing that I thought was like crazily interesting. It showed The Crew 2, which no.
Did anyone like the first one? I feel like no one liked the first one. No one ever talks about it. That's for sure.
Because nobody plays it. Starlink, which is basically just No Man's Skylanders. The Far Cry 5 gameplay demo, which was nice. It had Boomer the dog. That dog better not die, or there will be hell to pay.
Boomer will live.
Boomer better live. Damn it. But of course showed some more of Assassin's Creed Origins, because of course they had to. But then the announced trailer for a very interesting team up with Nintendo for Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yeah, when they first announced that a few days before E3, I was like, who cares about Rabbids? I don't. But then they showed gameplay for it, and I was like, okay, this could be fun. I like tactical games, and I wouldn't mind a tactical Mario. I just don't like Rabbids. It's something I'd have to like kind of turn a blind eye to, I guess. What do you think? Yay, nay?
I mean, it's gonna be for Switch, so
yes.
Honestly, this might get me to buy a Switch. It's basically XCOM on the go.
Really?
Like, this looks interesting.
That's what sold you on the Switch? Right, Mario and the Rabbids?
It took a lot of stuff to get me to that point. Other stuff that happens at Nintendo's announcements, in fact, get me to that point. But this was like the tipping thing. Like, it's Nintendo's version of XCOM. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that because I'm never going to get what I want, which is Super Mario RPG 2. So get me Nintendo XCOM. Nintendo XCOM, okay. It looks very...
Dreams with this guy. Wow. I'm so sorry.
Boulevard of Broken Dreams song. But yeah, man, like this looks really interesting in a very fun, weird, why in the world did they cross these two things up sort of fashion? But the Rabbids, when you think about them, are the gaming equivalent of the Minions, so why not, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
man.
But it doesn't, like, it looks very Nintendo. Like this looks like Nintendo said, "Hey, Ubisoft, I want you to make something for us." Like that's what it looked like to me.
Makes sense.
And so, I hate to say it, but I kind of want to get this game now.
There's nothing wrong. As soon as I saw gameplay for it, I was interested. It piqued my interest.
Yeah, it's got a feel, it's got a look. Folks, like, go look at the gameplay trailer for this. I was really kind of into it. But yeah, that was one of their big things. Now that is not the thing that I loved. Oh yeah, they talked about Steep for some reason too. Nobody's playing Steep.
Wait, play what? Steep?
Steep.
Oh, what that game came out like last year, didn't it? That's the downhill snowboarding.
Well, no, it's just all extreme. It's a bunch of extreme sports. It's not just downhill skiing. It's a bunch of extreme sports, and nobody plays it. It basically evolves into the Crew 2 because the Crew 2 is just like, hey, everything. What do you mean everything? Everything. We can't make a racing game because we suck at it. So we're just gonna put everything in here. Everything. Planes.
They added planes.
Yes. Racing on like foot races, yeah, we're gonna do that too. Boats, got it, totally. You want to jump from like the stratosphere? Absolutely, let's do this. Like whatever you can do to race, we're gonna do it. Like that's in the crew. That's what the crew is. The crew is literally every possible way of having a racing competition with any vehicle or person imaginable. Like, go for it. We got that. That's the crew too is,
Sounds
and
kind of fun.
nobody
I'm
was
not gonna lie.
nobody.
Oh my god.
No,
I mean, it sounds fun. I like the plane aspect. I like planes and shit.
if they would just name it Red Bull the game and make it
Oh,
a single player experience,
now
they
you're
might
killing
actually.
it.
No. Seriously, if they had made it a Red Bull game and done it like Red Bull does their adrenaline challenges, because Red Bull does a bunch of both wacky and ultra serious high like high energy adrenaline challenges. So if they'd have made it that, maybe they would have gotten a better look at it, but it just didn't work out. But the thing from Ubisoft that I got to talk about, and that is Assassin's Creed Black Flag 2, aka Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones just took Skull and Bones like went in, grabbed all the piracy stuff in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and said, "Nope, we're making a whole game of just this." And I could not be happier. I thought Sea of Thieves was going to be the pirate game that I was going to be interested in until I saw this, and I was like, "No, we're like forget Sea of Thieves. I need this game." Number one, there's apparently a single player mode. They showed off the player versus player stuff, but it's entirely open water, tall ship, pirate combat.
So they announced another Assassin's Creed game.
No, this is not an Assassin's Creed.
Oh, this is a
This
separate pirate
nothing-
game in general.
All pirate. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is technically the second because in Assassin's Creed 3 you actually can get a pirate ship there as well. But Assassin's Creed Black Flag was based around the age of piracy. This game is all age of piracy. You know,
Yeah.
this is and it looks great. It has all the stuff that you liked from Black Flag with your boats, and none of the stuff that you hate. They got rid of some of the annoying mechanics. You can still board and take over other people's ships. You have three. You have some different. Sorry, not three. There's multiple classes of ships that have different focuses. You have your true, tall, frigates and things of that nature that have just massive hulls and, excuse me, huge broadside and cannons.
All right.
You have, super quick sleuths that have some really awesome long range capabilities. You have some straight up ramming ships that have a beautiful ramming, front end on them, so they can actually destroy ships in that fashion. Now they didn't show the single player, but there is a single player for this, and that you can do PvP up to 5-on-5 sea battles. And
oh wow. Okay.
it looks grand. So it's going to be interesting to watch. They're doing a looting style system, so not only are you destroying other ships, but you can get loot from certain areas. They have pirate hunters, which it happened in Assassin's Creed as well, but I was able to defeat some of the pirate hunters, whereas here doesn't look like there's any chance of doing that. It's very interesting looking. You work together as a team to get your loot out of the area. So it's definitely something to watch and look for, because the team with the most loot between the two groups wins in PvP. So I'm very interested in that. And I was really happy with Skull and Bones, man. But what'd you think? Oh, and of course, also talk about Far Cry 5 because I love that it's topical.
I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not really a big pirate person, but it sounds like something that could be a lot of fun with the right group of friends. Honestly, I did like Black Flag, and this is something I'm definitely interested in playing or giving a shot. I wouldn't pay the full 60 for it though, but it'd be something I keep an eye on for a sale.
Well, I don't even know if this is going to be a full 60. Like, if this is, this is Ubisoft we're talking about. This does not seem to be a main game. If we find out more and it becomes one of those, this is a main series game where it's going to be on its own and have like its own separate storytelling, then maybe it's going to be a 60. But this might be a 40. And at 40, that's good value. A single player campaign and what seems like a very robust multiplayer, that's good value.
Yeah, that is good value. I mean, yeah,
So again, also PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4.
I'm telling you, I felt like this E3. I put this on my Facebook earlier this week. It feels very tepid. It's not. It's nothing super wowing. There's some interesting titles to be excited about, but nothing that really makes you want to stand up and give an ovation.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get to the other uh, tepid, I guess the best way to put it, uh, conference, Bethesda.
You don't. You don't sound too happy. You
Okay,
know, like a lot of people weren't happy.
I'm not unhappy. I'm just not happy because Bethesda did a couple things that annoy the crap out of me. You might remember, folks, on this channel we did a just brief let's play of Elder Scrolls Legends, their collectible card game, which of course is out now. But we did during the beta series. It was nice. It's a fun game. It's not nothing I was going to go back to, but it was interesting to play. Uh, for some reason, they decided to dedicate a major section of their press conference for Bethesda to the expansion pack
Happy?
for Elder Scrolls Legends for some reason. Whatever.
Oh no.
Bethesda. So there's that problem. I didn't mind Death of the Outsider, the Dishonored 2 DLC. That looks interesting. It comes out September 15th, I want to say. So it was good that they got a trailer. Um,
Oh, don't forget. Was there
I'm getting there.
wasn't there Skyrim for Switch officially announced, or?
Yes, Skyrim for Switch officially announced along with Amiibo links, so that you can dress up as Link in Skyrim on your Switch. Because if you're one of the one people on the entire planet Earth and the 16 people in the Milky Way galaxy that haven't bought Skyrim for every system code, Skyrim is now coming to your Switch. Oh,
Yay.
man. Like, if you haven't played Skyrim, it's because you actively do not want to play Skyrim at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you have to actively try. Because it's been like $5 on Steam the last 2 years, and there is no reason to not have this game.
And they just did a remaster, so
And they gave away free if you already had the game on Steam.
Exactly.
Like, I got it for free. I got the remaster for free.
Same here.
But that's the.
I'm not gonna get it, but like, hey, more power to people who want to play Skyrim on the go. Whatever.
Bethesda also dropped the Creation Club, which I'm torn about, honestly, because it is paid mods. Like, let's not dodge around that. This is mods that you pay for. And I'm happy in the fact that that helps support creators and whatnot. I'm also happy that you can't take mods that you already have published for Bethesda or apparently for Nexus as well. They're doing something with Nexus to make sure that mods have not been uploaded there and are now being sold through the Creation Club. But they're safeguarding against that, but people are now going to charge for mods, which can be good and bad. Because let's say you do buy Skyrim at this point after the Creation Club comes out. What, like, you won't have a game experience that isn't being nickel and dime. Like right now, I go out, I get some mods. If I feel like donating to a mod author because I think their mod is good, then fine. But do I get a refund if I think this mod is shit and don't use it after 20 seconds? I don't know. They haven't said anything about that. And they just really want to get these mods. On the other hand, it is nice that they'll be checking these mods to make sure, one, that they work and don't break the game, but that they're able to work with other mods being put in the game. So the Creation Club could be interesting. I'm not happy about it, and I'm very worried about it. On the upswing, though, because let's get to some positive stuff here with Bethesda. They dropped the Fallout 4 VR, which is good. That's going to be interesting because I always like seeing games like that dropped in the VR. But the actual good thing is Doom VFR V fucking R Doom. Like, yes, absolutely. No, I love the Doom remake because wow. But VR Doom? Yeah, absolutely. Is it going to be on PSVR 2? Oh, I'm in. Let's go. That's the perfect game to have on a console, man. Like, that's
That's
what
true.
consoles are made for. Doom VR, Doom on PC is fine. I had no problem. I played with the controller uh, with the person that sent me the game. But I played that on somebody's PS4 and was just like loving it. Room full of people were all playing this thing. Now you're gonna tell me it's gonna be in VR so we can really get ridiculous? Absolutely. Let's go. Let's go.
Sounds
Um,
like a great time.
it's gonna be a great time. The Evil Within 2 got dropped. It's coming out Friday the 13th in October. Um, and Quake got announced with the Quake
Yes.
Legends
Yes.
with BJ Blazkowicz as a featured hero. I'm
Look at
happy
that.
about that. That's good stuff. I'm glad they put it together. And that's
Didn't they
what
also?
led into the big
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
yeah, that led to the big drop with the new Wolfenstein game.
Fine. Yes. New Colossus. I mean, I thought, but I'm kind of depressed though, because I thought the end of the last Wolfenstein, and looks like nothing really changed. Is that what am I off here? Am I wrong? Like,
The new order?
yeah,
No,
New Order.
we no. There's the we beat back the Nazis to that point, but apparently BJ survived that end. I'm not going to ruin that ending because that's a great ending to a game. Um, apparently BJ survives the end of the New Order after having woken up in the future and everything he does in the New Order. And so now he's in this where the Nazis have invaded America and taken over. And man, you want to talk about visuals. What in the world? This game is going to be amazing. I cannot wait to play it. I am
Yes.
hype.
Yeah, after the surprise hit that New Order was, I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I really
This
enjoyed New Order.
goodness, like I don't even know like how do you prepare for this? Like this is legitimately an amazing development. So
You don't. You just experience it as is.
that I'm watching this trailer going, this is are they serious? What? Yeah, yeah. Like, there's some cheesy stuff in there. Like the black chick's got an afro and talks like she's Pam Grier in every blaxploitation movie in the '70s. But other than that kind of stuff, it was like, no, we're really good. Not only do we get to murder Nazis who've taken over America, we apparently have the KKK still in America. So I get to go full Mafia 3 clan murdering too. I'm
Yes.
all in for this game right now. Like,
Yes.
tell me I can line up. Let me not do that. Uh, thoughts and prayers with the idiots giving thoughts and prayers to the situation in DC over the past. But yeah, Wolfenstein 2. Yes. I'm not pre-ordering. I don't pre-order. But yes,
Nope.
totally in for this. And I'm buying it on PC because I'm an elitist.
Oh my god. This guy. At least you're honest.
Hey, exactly. I'm an honest elitist. Let's be real here. But yeah, so and of course, Nintendo did their conference. They dropped the Pokemon development, which was okay.
Yeah, that was really big for some people. That's something I'm excited about. Oh my god. Nintendo. Personally, Nintendo did the best out of all of the conferences
Nope,
for E3.
still not the best, but very close. Absolutely very close.
Woo!
I
So
will tell you,
who's your
people, if you've been listening this long, don't worry. We're going to get to the end here, and we will tell you who the best is. But Lando thinks Nintendo's the best. Tell us why you think Nintendo was the best. Tell me about it.
Okay, so they first off they totally settled this huge argument between Metroid fans, either 2D or 3 or Prime, and they're bringing both Prime 4 and the remake of Metroid 2. Mario Odyssey looks freaking amazing, and of course we're getting not Rayman Rabbids and Mario together. I feel like they just had a better show that made me smile. I was like, okay, this is something that I am looking forward to. Switch and or 3DS if I wish. They just seem to have more games that I would be more interested in, especially with Metroid Prime 4. I mean, we've all been waiting for that since the third one back on the Wii. So I don't know. I felt like they had games that had the most games that I wanted to buy.
Yo,
What?
like no joke, Rocket League coming to Switch is a big deal. It doesn't seem like it, but that's
See, I haven't played Rocket League. I haven't played it at all. I don't know what it's like, but people talk about it all the time.
It is legitimately a lot of fun. I don't know if I have any extras left. If I do, I'll send you one. But yeah, it's a
Please.
big deal, and that's gonna be good. But that Game Freak saying what they said seems to mean that this is not a regular Pokemon game. In addition to,
They said it
of
was a
course, the
port.
first Sun and Moon is coming. It's a straight up RPG for real. So, hmm, hmm.
That's what people want, baby. That's what people want.
Like
And the people,
I wonder what the gameplay loop's going to be like. I wonder how the matches are going to go. If it's open world and you can avoid monsters that you don't want to fight, like stuff like that. Like, but still has the turn based. That could be really interesting. Like I said, they might have a thing there. I'm not a Xenoblade Chronicles guy, but people really love it. So hey,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
not a big Xenoblade person either, but that seems to be an RPG people will seem to really get on top of. So
Nintendo had a great showing. Nintendo really said, "Hey, look, we've heard you, and we're gonna make sure there's plenty of stuff for you to play on the Switch to keep you wanting to keep your Switch around,
yeah.
even though we don't make enough for you to buy them."
That's true.
Now we got to get to the unofficial winners of E3, and that, of course, is the PC Gaming Showcase. Because oh wow, did the PC games show up? First off, last night. Oh, also, we did get the Beyond Good and Evil 2 trailer, but I'm saving any thoughts on it until I see more because it apparently is a prequel, and that kind of bothers me. I'm a little afraid of that. A little afraid of that. But the PC games showed up big. XCOM 2 dropping expansion this August. Wow. All right, I'm back at XCOM. So folks, get ready. You'll see some more Long War 2 content. But there's a lot of games coming out for PC. We're not gonna have time to get to them all because we're gonna wrap up here real soon. But they also dropped a trailer for the last night, which it looks like Hotline Miami and Blade Runner had a baby. Like it's got that Hotline Miami style to it, and it's not made by Devolver, um, but it has like a Blade Runner feel. It looks like atmospherically, it looks so crispy and delicious. Like yeah, and Blade Runner 2049 is coming out in October. Like yeah, dude, give me games, dude. That Cyberpunk, man, that's deep in my soul, man. It's like, it's just one of those things. Like I'm into it, man. I'm into it. We of course saw some few little hints about from CD Projekt Red about Cyberpunk 2077. So that's gonna be interesting to see as they continue developing on that. But I want to get to the winner of E3, and I am ashamed to say that Lando did not watch this when it happened, and I had to let him know about it. Devolver Digital won E3. Why? Because Devolver Digital was crazy. I'm pretty certain that they dosed my computer screen, and what I watched was my computer on LSD for 20 minutes. That then turned into 17 hours. Devolver Digital did not announce any new games. They said they were not announcing any new games. They said, but we will have a pre-tape press conference. Don't worry, watch it. You'll like it. And we did. We watched Devolver Digital lambaste the very idea of E3 and all of the publishers that come to E3, including themselves, by doing a hugely satirical, absolutely hilarious acid trip of a press conference where they had the female presenter in the white shirt with the ponytail saying the buzzwords and talking about content and having, really screaming into things. They pre-taped this thing. It's amazing. I can't do it justice. You got to watch it. Words do not do it justice. That's what we call cross branding, people. But it's amazing to watch. They play some things entirely straight that you're like, this is so weird. How are you doing this? Like, this is the kind of stuff that like gives Donald Glover new ideas for Childish Gambino albums. Like this, you need to watch this press conference, even if you hate video games. I need you to watch this because it is crazy. But it gets to the point where they're ending it up, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. This has been really funny. And they start talking about stuff like comment-driven content where the game is going to react to the comments you leave in the YouTube or Reddit or scrawled in blood on their company pages. It's ridiculous. And then it was over.
Sounds like a fun party.
I'm not going to ruin the end because that's spoilers. It's amazing. But we get to the end and you're like, oh man, it's over. And then they just started doing this massive, no joke, 10+ hour long like playthrough of a bunch of different Devolver Digital games in a talk show style format with random guests like John Morrison, the wrestler. The Devolver tricked us all, and we happily went along for the ride. They won E3. I will hear nothing else of it. But I do want to get your final thoughts, Lando, before we get out of here, man. Go for it.
Yeah, I feel like this E3, even though they had some interesting titles, it wasn't too exciting for me. I don't know if I'm getting more jaded as a gamer. I just wasn't super hyped about it. But I know next couple of years we'll have some exciting titles that we'll have to see how they unfold. So I'm looking forward to them. It's just that this E3 wasn't too impressive. E3.
I certainly agree with that. Like I said, particularly in the games to come, right? It feels like this was a big. It felt like this was a big setup for E3 next year than it was for this year. Because a lot of those games were announcing 2018, 2019, and not really giving particular dates in that time frame. I feel like we're going to be in June next year, and more than half of the games that were talked about won't have released yet, or will be releasing like right before or right after it. So I totally agree with you. We spent a lot of time talking video games here, though, folks. So we're going to get out of here. For Safe State Society, Mecha University, words don't do it justice. Weekends don't do it justice. WeekendLife.com, just press play. The Wrath of Ruthless podcast. The Words Don't Do It Justice podcast. MCW. I am the Ruthless Wonder, not a Ruthless Wonder. And for my guest, we will see you next time. Be sure to check out Lando over at his wonderful spots on YouTube and on Facebook. And if you haven't already joined Safe State Society, join now. A lot of great gamers in there. Tons of people to play games with and just talk about games with. So we will talk to you guys later. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.